Hey everybody, this is Josh. Welcome to the Landlord Harassment channel. And this is part two of my eviction notice video. I made a video last night, but I decided to make a part two today. And so I'll just quickly go over what I said in my last video. The person that's been a new manager on my complex for the last year has been harassing me for the last year. There's a lot of issues in this building with noise, and every time I try to talk to my neighbors about the noise, Brooke Farmer, the manager here, the new manager, threatens to evict me, writes me up, knocks my door to try to intimidate me, so on and so forth. Got plenty of other videos about that, so I don't want to retread all of that. But I got a whole playlist that's called Haverkamp Properties Landlord Harassment. You guys can watch those videos if you haven't already. But anyway, I came home yesterday, like I said in my last video, to a 7-day eviction notice on my door. And this is a real eviction notice. This is them. They're moving forward with this no matter what. And my quote-unquote violation was leaving a quote-unquote harassing note for my upstairs neighbors. And again, what that's in reference to is the fact that a couple of weeks back, my upstairs neighbors do something upstairs where they make a lot of pounding and rumbling noises. I'm not sure what they're doing, but it does sound similar to somebody taking a baseball bat and just pounding on their floor, pounding on my ceiling. And there's times when it goes on a daily basis, and there's times when it's pretty much all day long. So I did leave a note upstairs telling them basically to knock off the noise. I asked them what they're doing up here to make that noise. I told them the noise needs to stop. And then I stated that there's nothing I do in my apartment that results in a repetitive pounding or rumbling noise. So I can't imagine what you would be doing up here to, excuse me, to cause that level of noise. So from that alone, because of that note, Haverkamp Properties is moving forward with eviction action against me because I left a note telling my neighbors upstairs to stop making excessive noise. That's my violation. And it would seem insane to some of you that would cause an eviction, or that would even cause a landlord to even look your direction. Because generally, no landlord in the world acts like this. Usually a landlord, when there's a noise situation, a landlord does one of two things. They either try to talk to the people making the noise when you complain about it, or if they want to be kind of a jerk, they say, well, this is your problem, you handle it yourself, and they kind of stay out of it. Brooke Farmer has done neither. Brooke Farmer has chosen to make me the target, even though I'm the one trying to resolve the noise situation. So every time I try to talk to my neighbors about noise, leave them notes, knock their door, anything, I get a write-up, I get fined, I get threatened with eviction, and now I'm getting a real eviction here. Now, the last thing Haverkamp tried to pull on me, now when they put the 7-day eviction notice on my door back in August, I got Iowa Legal Aid to step in. And so Iowa Legal Aid stepped in and protected me. Haverkamp caught wind of that, so they didn't move forward with the eviction. And this is back when that stemmed from when Brooke was knocking my door and basically standing at my house trying to bully and intimidate me. But either way, so Haverkamp backed off a great deal. And at that point in late July, early August. But what they did do is they chose not to give me a renewal offer. Now that's illegal. That's landlord harassment. That's landlord retaliation. I was going to come after that. I was going to come after them for that anyway. But when I saw that that's what they were doing, it's like, okay, they know Iowa Legal Aid is going to protect me from eviction, so they're just going to try to get away with their illegal activities by sneakily here, right? Just not renewing my lease, not giving me my renewal offer, and hoping this goes away. So You might think, well, okay, if that's the direction they're going, why did they just put an eviction notice on your door in retaliation for leaving a note for your neighbors upstairs to knock off their excessive noise? It sounds crazy, and it is. But the reason that they're doing that is, see, here's what happened. The upper management at Haverkamp, the people above Brooke Farmer, they're the ones that went with the decide not to renew thing. Because I think they just want to try to wash their hands of this situation to avoid trouble as much as they possibly can. The problem is that Brooke Farmer just can't help herself. Her obsession with me is such that she just can't leave well enough alone. She just can't stop herself from messing with me every time she gets the opportunity to do so. Whatever her hatred for me is, whatever her focus on me is, she does have an obsession with me. And whenever I try to, respond to noise situations in here and she catches wind of it, she's going to cause me trouble. She might be able to hold herself back for a while, but she's only going to be able to hold herself back for so long. She has a target on my back. She's got it in her head that it's okay for her to mess with me. And so she'll take every opportunity to do so. That's what happened back in late July when she knocked my door. If you'll recall from my other videos, the first time Brooke started trying to harass me, I walked into her office with my camera out and was recording her. And after that, she backed off of me really fast and got really sweet really quick. The strong arm tactics went away for a while. But a few months later, she was knocking my door, actively trying to intimidate me. This is that same thing all over again. The thing that caused her to knock my door was that her hatred and her obsession with me are so strong that, she can't allow me to stick up for myself in this place at all. She wants to get rid of me very badly for whatever reason that she has in her head, whatever she has against me, which I still don't know what it is to this day. She can't stop herself from screwing with me. So you have another situation like this here. Haverkamp tried to slide under the radar by just not renewing my lease and just quietly, trying to hoping this quietly goes away. But Brooke can't help herself. So when I left that note for the neighbors asking them to stop making noise, Brooke slaps an eviction notice on my door because she just can't stop herself from screwing with me. In Brooke's mind, I have no right to stand up for myself at all. I have no right to resolve any of my own conflicts with my neighbors. The only thing I have the right to do is to leave or to be pushed out of here. So now you know the duress that I've been living under in this place for the last year. And no matter how much noise a neighbor makes, if I respond to it at all in any way, I get threatened with eviction. I'm not allowed to handle my own business with my neighbors, and they're not, which is illegal. They can't put that on me, but they do it anyway because of Brooke. So if this eviction notice sounds crazy to you guys from my last video, what's behind this is one person's obsession with trying to force me out of here because that person doesn't like me for whatever reason that they made up in their own minds about me. And unfortunately, that person has a lot of authority on this complex. So that person actively targets me and takes any opportunity she can to make trouble for me. And again, with this eviction notice, Haverkamp knows that Iowa Legal Aid will step in for me and protect me from this. So I don't think they think they're going to be successful. I don't think that's the point. The point is to just rattle me, harass me, bother me. Because, Iowa Legal Aid is going to defend me from this eviction because it's on just absolutely frivolous grounds. But I'm still going to have to go through that whole process. All because I told my neighbors upstairs to stop making excessive noise. But that's why I said in my last video, that I have a target on Brooke Farmer's back now, and Todd Westenberg's back. And I don't care how long it takes me. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop going after them until I get legal justice. Brooke and Todd need to be fired and never allowed in the landlord business again. I need some financial compensation. And I need something else to make up for all of this. No tenant should have to live under this kind of duress, especially for an entire year. Like, can you imagine, for those of you who rent, like, what landlord acts like this? Could you imagine having to live in a situation where your neighbors make a bunch of noise all the time, and anytime you respond to it at all, whether you leave a note, whether you knock their door, whatever, whether you hit the ceiling to get them to stop, every time you do that, your landlord is putting a behavioral violation notice on your door, or a threat to evict you on your door, or they're sending you emails to have meetings with you like you're the problem. That's what I've been dealing with for the last year in here. Ever since Brooke Farmer took over, whatever her obsession with me is, she can't stop herself from screwing with me. So Haverkamp knows that this eviction will probably not go through. But again, that's not the point. The point is to just cause me trouble, to punish me for asserting my rights in here. I had a way I wanted to finish this out. I don't remember what that is. I have the receipts to prove all of this. When I find a way to get, like, representation, Iowa Legal Aid is representing me as far as defending me for evictions, but they don't deal in lawsuits or nothing. So I have to find a lawyer that's willing to represent me, like pro bono, to take Haverkamp to court. But once I do, I have a ton of evidence to prove harassment, to prove landlord retaliation, to prove targeted harassment, to prove bullying, to prove retaliation, all kinds of stuff. I've kept all the receipts. So, once we get in front of a fair judge who isn't, like, friends with Brent Haverkamp or Todd Westenberg behind the scenes or whatever, it's pretty much an open and shut case. But I'm stepping up my game a little bit here. When I get Haverkamp into court, I'm going for big money now. That's my other announcement. I was originally just going to go with fire Brooke, fire Todd. This is what was going to be my compensation. Fire Brooke, fire Todd, pay out the rest of my lease, and give me my renewal offer for my next lease. And I would have been happy. I'm no longer happy with that, because this just keeps happening. So now when I get them in the court, I am going to sue them for some big money. And by big money, I mean over $1 million. So, and I deserve every penny of it. Nobody should have to live in a situation like this because some landlord who just doesn't like the way you look or thinks you're ugly or whatever it is decides to just single you out and target you to make sure you basically have no rights in your own apartment. But thank God for Iowa Legal Aid. I mean, they're stepping in, they're helping. So I don't have to be evicted. You know what I mean? But again, Haverkamp knows that they're going to step in and protect me because they know the Iowa Legal Aid has stepped in for me before, so they know that an eviction against me is very unlikely. But again, that's not the point. The point is to harass me and bother me and make me feel uncomfortable in here and make me feel bullied so that I leave on my own because of Brooke Farmer having such an obsession with me. Brooke, find a new obsession. This is not going to end well for you. Like I said in my last video, The fact that I don't have money to fight back against you right now just means stuff is going to take time. But I'm not going to stop till I ruin your career. And Todd's too, because Todd knowingly approved of this, everything you've done. I don't know how to end this one either. As you guys can see, I'm not in a great mood. You know, it's one thing, like, you know, I used to have bullies as a kid. But I would much rather have those bullies than the bullying that Brooke Farmer, the manager here, is doing to me. Because the worst that my bullies as a kid could do was beat me up. Once I was beat up, it was over with. But those bullies didn't have a whole system behind them to protect them while they bullied me. You know what I'm saying? And Brooke, I mean, you can just tell she gets off on her power. Like, listen, this woman is like 3 feet tall and 300 pounds. She looks like a friggin' tree stump. After I get her fired from here, she's probably going to get a job as a tree stump because that's exactly how she looks. I'm telling you, 3 feet tall, 300 pounds, short, wide, boom, like, you know, tree stump. You can tell she has no self-esteem, and you can tell she gets off on just this little power that she has, and like her with her obsession with me. You want to hear something funny, though, about Brooke? The last time I saw her walking into her office, and I know she watches my videos, and this is why. This is funny. I noticed that she's lost a considerable amount of weight, too. She still has a long way to go, as do I. But I thought that was hilarious. Because, well, Brooke, what inspired you to start losing weight? I inspire you, don't I? I inspire you. You watched my videos and you started making a decision to make healthier decisions for yourself. So the same person you're harassing is also your hero. That's hilarious to me, Brooke. It really is. That's what Brooke did. She started watching my health videos, my health-based videos, where I talk about, you know, my weight loss journey and my health journey and how I've lost now close to 140 pounds. And she started getting inspired, so she started losing weight on her own. That is hilarious to me. So I guess I can at least get a good laugh out of that. But Brooke, no matter how skinny you get, no matter how healthy you get, you're still not going to have a career because I'm not going to stop till I ruin your career. So there you go. But back to everybody else, to address everybody else again. Yeah, I guess, like I said, for those of you who think that this is just crazy, that somebody would put an eviction notice on your door for something like this, again, I've got a new manager of this property that, like I said, has a really sort of hateful obsession with me, and she just can't stop herself from screwing with me. If I do anything to stick up for myself at all, whether it's against her, whether it's against my neighbors who are making noise, she steps in and makes trouble for me. And she's going to continue to do so. I'm going to beat this eviction because Iowa Legal Aid is going to protect me from it. But again, the point isn't to evict me. The point is to cause trouble in my life, to punish me for standing up for myself. That's all for today. See you guys later.